that journey into the car park, very unconventional, but it's what happened. And I felt I was walking on Richard's grave.
All the information I need to find him, well, it's all out there. But I don't think anybody's brought it all together before.
If your research is accurate, he's now right in the middle of a car park.
You tell me what that letter represents.
Just means reserved.
Of course.
Philippa, could you talk us through the process of kind of why you had this gut feeling that King Richard III was in the car park and kind of how you managed to convince people to start looking there?
Yeah, that journey into the car park, very unconventional, but it's what happened. And I felt I was walking on Richard's grave. And I remember I had to go back the following year because I wanted to test if it had been real. And it happened again in the exact same place in the northern end of this car park. And that's when my research focus changed, because I'd been really interested in his life. And I then started looking at his death and his burial.
But it's important to add that, you know, you didn't just happen to walk through the car park. It's, you know, your research took you there. Philippa had done the research about the alleged potential places of where he should be. It was what I like about it is that it's a combination of intuition and intellect.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fascinating. And you can see kind of the research that went into it behind the scenes throughout the film, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. Throughout the movie, actually, kind of along with the research, you have visions of King Richard III. I was just wondering if this is something you actually experienced or if it's more kind of a representation of your inner monologue and what you were thinking as the process went on.
Yeah, I don't see Richard. I don't see ghosts or anything. Definitely, you're absolutely right. It's what when Steve and Jeff said, "Look, this is what we'd like to do." Initially, I thought, "Oh God, is this going to be right? Is this going to be?" When they explained how they wanted it to work, then I got it, because they said, "Look, it's a really useful dramatic narrative so that people can understand your search, who it is you're going in search of, but also that it gives you a place for your internal dialogue to be given to the audience so that they can really understand the internal journey." And I think that's why Sally nails it so well, because she does the both of that, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I know you're some sort of apparition. I've been trying to work out why you're here. I wonder if it's because you're lost. I know I can find him.
Who?
Richard.
Richard who?
Sorry, the third.
The king.
Yes.
What was it about Philippa's story that captivated you and made you realise it just had to be told on the big screen?
The fact that it was so little known about outside sort of small group of people, although it had been acknowledged, it was barely acknowledged because the people holding the megaphone was a big institution called Leicester University. So they were able to sort of get their version of events, and Philippa barely features in their accounts. And so in some ways, because of Philippa's being relegated to the sidelines, that helped actually make it a more interesting story, because it was as ostensibly untold. So that made me think, right, I want to get out there and sort of shout Philippa's story from the rooftops. And so that made it just irresistible. And then all I had to do was convince Philippa that I was the right person to help her do that.
How does it feel to be able to have your story on the big screen? So many people are going to see it from your side as well.
Oh, do you know, it's such a mix of emotions, because it's exciting on one hand, it's daunting on another, it's surreal on another. So it's a real mix. And I've seen the film a few times now, and it's only now where I'm beginning to get used to it.
I have the strongest feeling this is a very important historical site.
A feeling is what you get when you sit on a bus seat that's still warm.
I will fight you all the way on this. I want to dig for Richard.
How did you guys decide that Sally Hawkins was the right person to be playing Philippa in the movie?
Well, when it came to casting, you look at actors who you know are very good, and Sally Hawkins ticked all those boxes. So we just thought, if she'll do it, she's going to be perfect. And I think she delivered in spades, if you'll forgive the use of the
that was a great
digging
pun.
implementation.